Hi, I'm Catherine.
And I'm Lynn, and we are a coffee break
with Cat and Mom. Welcome back to our podcast. Today is episode 22, our second episode of season 2. Go check out our first episode of season 2 if you haven't. That was a fun one. My mom's best friend Angie was here. She just left today. But
that
today,
was a drama too.
Yes, she forgot her purse here with her money, everything, her wallet, her ID, everything, and she was already at the airport with the Uber, and the Uber skirted back here. I gave her a purse, which she had dropped in the parking lot, and I had to go ask the neighbor downstairs if they had found it, and he was like, "You're gonna want to ask the person next door to me," and she's like, "Yep, I got it for Angie," and I was like, "Yep." So she forgot that, and she forgot her sandals.
And then when she got back to the airport for the second time, she forgot her jacket in the Uber, so I had to run after the Uber to get the jacket. Yeah. And then she just called to let us know that she's at her connection flight, probably having a cocktail after this whole episode. Yeah. To let us know that she almost forgot her Chanel glasses on the plane. Mm-hmm. So today is not her day.
But today we've talked about it a lot before, but we're talking about the difference between the soft life culture, calm, more European, and then the hustle culture, which tends to be more associated with America. But first, our little week in review.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, my mom's best friend was here, so we had a lot of fun. Lots of pool and beach. But also, tomorrow I leave for a trip to Montreal because I'm interning with a company there. And it's Heritage General Canada. So I'll be going there for an event that I've been planning, and I'm very excited for that.
And she'll have a chance to actually go see her grandma, my mom. So she'll be down there. And I guess I just started my new job yesterday. So today was day number 2. And it's just, it's chiropractic, right? I'm a chiropractor. That part I got down. But to learn all the new ways of how a new office, new to me, works, it's a lot. So and then juggling your younger sister's swim meet. So I've been up since 4 a.m. this morning, 4:15.
She's also homeschooled.
Yeah.
So, or you said swim meets, swim practice.
Oh, swim practice. Yes. I was at practice for the 5:30 practice.
I don't know how that's sustainable, waking up at 4:15 before driving all the way to Boca from West Palm, mind you, and then driving from Boca back here, then changing West Palm to Stewart, then Stewart back to here. So it's a lot of driving.
Today was a long day. That's why we're looking for a place to move up there.
Yeah.
So,
and it works great for the topic today about work life. Yeah. So that's perfect. But before we get into our topic, every episode we do a coffee review. We review small coffee shops to promote small businesses and small owners. Today we don't have the coffee with us. We have our little mugs. Shout out to our podcast. But we went to, I think it's spelled Crux. Crux.
Well, we don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know. But it's it's in Jupiter, Florida. And it is on the FAU campus in Jupiter. And it's so cool. It's compasses everywhere, kind of like traveler themed. So I really like that vibe. It was very it's the perfect unique. It was the perfect cool coffee shop vibe. And I got
campus.
Plus. I got a matcha, and the matcha was so good. I kind of like my matcha on the sweeter side. Ceremonial grade, but on the sweeter side, adding maybe simple syrup or vanilla, or even brown sugar, which we actually tried the other day.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. I loved it. And then she got a nice latte.
So I didn't get the matcha this time.
Yeah.
It's very rare. But I like iced latte, and I can get them. I like them also just the espresso type thing, and it's very kind of sour, but it wakes me up. But with just a little bit of vanilla pump or praline pecan that we only get during Christmas time. But anyways, if you can add that, that's
chestnut praline is her favorite.
Chestnut praline, that's so good.
Yeah,
it's Christmassy.
If you guys go to FAU on the Jupiter campus, or you guys live near Jupiter, go check it out. I don't think there are any other locations. I'd have to look into it, but I'm into world traveling and stuff, so I thought it was a cool vibe.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was very, what's the word, like, like people that love going to like national parks and like van life people, I feel like would really resonate with that place. But van life. No, van life. Not van life.
Oh, I have van like people.
Van down by the river. But now we will dive right into our topic.
Yeah.
I think you guys will like this one. Again, like I said, we talk about this a lot because it's just something that I think, are very passionate about, is striving for that European lifestyle. But today we are going to dive deep into it and kind of dissect what it means for each side of it. And then I have some questions that we'll answer and see which side we are really on. So first, I kind of just wanted to define the two kinds of lifestyles. The first one is the like soft life culture, and that is a stress-free, easygoing lifestyle focused on enjoyment, self-care, and passive income. And then on the opposite side of that is the hustle culture, which is the grind, waking up at 5 a.m., working multiple jobs, side hustles, never stopping until you make it. I think that the hustle culture, I mean, that's very like excessive. I think the waking up at 5 a.m. I see hustle culture as like the 9 to 5, but waking up early, yeah. And then
I think that there's got to be a middle. I mean, I don't know. The way I see it right now, like just by reading this definition, because I mean, she wrote the definition because you kind of have your idea of what a soft. I wouldn't call it a soft life, but like a slower paced life, if you want to, and then the hustle culture. There's also like, okay, I understand the soft life that you're talking about, but also some people worked hard and did, let's say, the hustle culture for a while, and then they can get to that party. Yeah, like I would vote for that, but also the hustle culture, like the waking up at 5 a.m. and working multiple jobs. Okay, there's also like the people that work, like let's say like me. Well, sometimes I have to wake up at 5 for your sister, or because I have to go work out because that's the only time I can, figure out working out. And then during my lunch hour, I'm going to go, do the laundry, whatever, but so that you can have like a balance at the end of the day and be with your family and enjoy, your family or the weekend.
I definitely don't think it's like black and white. Like there's definitely no like strict definition of what these are. I think these are like this and like everything else perfect, and you get that choice like without having any like outside factors playing a role here. But I think hustle culture in America is like working for promotion after promotion, like working up the ladder is how I see the hustle culture. And then we have some pros and cons of each lifestyle. The soft life perks. I don't really like the word soft life, so we're going to switch it. I feel like it's really
slower pace.
Not that every European lives that life. It just tends like Americans look at that lifestyle as like more European.
Well, because they don't. I mean, okay, everybody watches well, not everybody, but some of you watches Emily in Paris. I'm not saying that's a reflection of really how it works or how it goes, but they don't start until like 9 a.m. They have like actually sit down lunches, talking to each other. They have all the weekends off. Sometimes they have stuff at night and stuff. Like I said, I'm not saying that it's always.
And I'm sure like not everybody has that like. I don't luxury of being able to do that. It just seems like that's what I've never been to Italy, but it seems like the lifestyle in Italy. London, we didn't see people out on the roads till 9:30. Coffee shops didn't open till 8. Versus America, it's 5:30, and we talked about that in our London episode. But yeah, so the soft life or European life perks, slow life perks, whatever. More balance, less burnout, higher quality of life. Again, the higher quality of life, I think, can go both ways because we tend to like time money in with the hustle culture, so I feel like you're able to have a higher quality of life.
Or maybe like the high quality of life, like you're less stressed, so you're just like more healthy. Maybe you just you sleep better. I mean, that it could be viewed that way. That way. Or if you are very wealthy and then you switch and being more of like enjoying yourself and traveling and whatnot, be more of a philanthropist, maybe, the higher quality of life because you have the time to actually use your money and enjoy it, right? So,
but then the downside's expensive.
Could be expensive.
Yeah, again, not everybody is able to like have that luxury of just living the calm life, not working as much because in this economy, it's extremely expensive to live. So
it's a little unrealistic with this economy. Yes.
Can feel unproductive. That is true. I know a lot of people who like don't need to work, but work because they just feel like they're doing nothing, like they don't really have a purpose, or they're just sitting around, and so they get a job to give them something to do.
But there's also, like, when you were saying, like it's expensive. Yes, it is. But like you just said, like, some people have to, they just need to work. They need to be busy. Like, a lot of people go and retire, and then they're all of a sudden like, okay, I can't stay seated all day. I need to have something to do. But there's also people that just want to have like a little side job, like, just to make enough money to be happy. Not everybody needs to have the big house, beautiful car. Or, I don't say need, but dream of,
Yeah.
And I also like the way they are a little bit more mellowed and just like, I'm happy at my little job, and I'm doing this, and so I mean, not saying it's for everybody, I'm not saying it's for me, but there's also that part.
Yeah. Then the hustle culture perks: more money, career success, sense of achievement. Obviously more money. Hustle culture is based around working a lot, working for the next promotion, so that is true. But the downsides are stress, exhaustion, missing out on life. That is also true. I think we can get so focused, like, on the extreme of things. People can get so focused on getting the next promotion because it's so much higher pay that they're working so much and not, like, spending time with their family or prioritizing their family. They're prioritizing that promotion. So I don't know.
That, how you see it. It is, but there's also like the new culture of like online working. That you're at home, and if you see those ads on social media, like, oh, just follow me, and you just have to start something on Canva or whatever it's called, anyways, and then you don't need to talk to anybody, but blah blah blah. And well, there's maybe one in whatever how many thousands that will make it. Great, it's awesome, but this is not also for everybody. So I mean, there's both sides, but but I know what you're saying, because you're talking about, like, you're going to do your trip for your internship, and you had mentioned as an example the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah,
and that's what those guys were doing.
It's just like time. They are really just working for the pay, no matter like how they get there. They're going to get there, like whether it's illegal or not.
Yeah,
they just see the money and the dollar signs. So that is how I see like the extreme side of the hustle culture. We'll dive more into like the realistic, like how it applies to our lives later in the episode. But and
then it's kind of funny when you say, and it's I always say this, and it's not to be mean or anything like that, but the people that have worked all their lives, to be able to buy themselves expensive cars or trips or boats or whatnot. We see a lot of those very expensive cars, especially if you go to Boca Raton, and we're always like, oh my gosh, watch out, it's going to be an old fart driving it. I mean, I don't want to be mean or anything like that. And then, well, I will say 90% of the time, it's an older gentleman, or woman that's driving it, and you're just like, okay, so
I mean, they
were born with money. I mean, you never know.
Trust fund baby, but they hustled, which I do applaud that. Like, they worked hard for their money, but it just comes down to like, what are your priorities and what quality of life do you want to have, and just, I mean, do you want to have more money, or do you want to have a job that pays a little less but makes you happy? So it just comes down to what you prefer. Now we have some questions to kind of dive deep into who we are and what we prefer, I guess. So now we're going to see which one we are. Are you more of a wake up and grind person, or do you prefer to chill and live an easygoing life? That's pretty straightforward. I feel like I'm a good in between. I love my sleep though. I like to get my full 8 hours and not wake up in the morning and work out, because I just never have a good workout early in the morning. I like to work out at night.
That might
or
change.
Afternoon. Yeah, that might change. Yeah. But that's what I like. I prefer the chill, easygoing life. But then again, when I'm living that life, I feel like I'm not doing enough and I'm not getting myself anywhere. So
you have to keep busy.
Yes, I like to have a project that I'm working on, like this podcast or this internship. Like, I like to have something I'm working on, but not. I want it to be something I find enjoyable.
Well, I'm like that too. Like, we like money, right? Because we like nice things, and we like sometimes to buy the good bottle of wine or the good.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I buy cheap clothes. I barely buy myself.
Oh yeah, we buy.
I don't. But that's not one of my like priorities. Is like things.
However, she likes to go eat out. But anyway,
yes, I like to go eat out, but I'm usually not the one paying. So.
That's what I'm saying. However, like, where I worked in Iowa, I really liked my hours. It was great. I had a little bit of time on the Tuesday morning. I did not work on Fridays. So, I could do everything during the day so that when your sister was done with school, then I had, I was ready for the weekend. I was ready for her, and I was just with her. Where I'm at right now, it's more hours and it's late. And okay, now I have to drive 40 minutes to get back home. So that doesn't help. Like dinner is late and whatnot. And I barely see you guys, and stuff. So like, if you ask me right now, this is what I would consider a hustle.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you're
waking up and you're literally grinding from 4:15 a.m. to like today, that's the excessive of excessive, like 4:15 to 7.
But I would say yesterday I left here, it was about 7 and I came back at 6:45.
Yeah.
And of course, when we move there, I will be like 10 minutes away, so it's going to be completely different. However, my hours still will be the same and I still don't particularly care for the hours right now. But, on the other side, I'm a single mom. I kind of have to make sacrifices because I want to offer things to my kids that, I was very blessed. My dad did the hustle life only because he started his own business, because he wanted to give to his kids what he grew up in. He was kind of poor. His family was, not rich at all. And he wanted to give that life to his kids.
And see, that's like, you see then the side of things where it's hustling for like another one of your priorities, which is your family. So you're hustling for them, but like, did he also make time to spend
he
time
was
with
at
you?
home.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. But of course, at the beginning you started a business. I was a baby, so clearly I don't remember. My mom stayed home, and she helped a lot. She was a CPA.
But he found the balance.
Eventually, he did. When things were going, he was home. I remember having him for dinner every single night.
So
morning, depending on when school was starting and stuff. And my dad was with us during the weekend. So that was great. Don't get me wrong. We had strict rules and we had to work and whatnot. But he was not. He was a big giver. He was a huge giver, and I think all my friends know as well. But he had his rules, and we were raised to have him as the example. So when I opened my own clinic, it was the same thing. I didn't have kids, so it was just me and your dad, and we were working in the same building. So it was kind of like we were there. We loved what we were doing.
Yeah, and like we could go to the gym and just like in the daycare, right? There's a daycare
when you were
at the
born,
gym.
that's where you were at.
Like we were all together. Even when you had the.
Yeah, so it was. So yeah, it's just a little bit different now, my situation, but it's also an opportunity that I could give back to my kids and, even enjoy maybe a nice restaurant.
Yeah.
That she won't have to pay for.
But what I just thought of is in Florida, and I'm sure this is also like in LA and New York City, you see a lot of, maybe like less New York City, you see more of the hustle. But in Florida, especially South Florida, you see both so much because there's people that drive from, the traffic is insane, you know that. You see there's some people that drive from West Palm to Miami for work. And I'm sure, I hope they take the Brightline train, but I'm sure there's some people that drive from West Palm to Miami in the mornings and then back, which is like, praise your soul.
It's close to 2 hours with traffic.
And that's hustling, that's hustling. And then you see the other side of things, like influencers in Miami where, they're living more of like the chill, easygoing life. I'm not saying that being an influencer isn't all chill. Like I've seen the editing it takes for this podcast and all the stuff that goes into it. It's a lot of work, but again, I would consider that more of the chill life versus like the hustle culture. So you get to see both worlds there, and you get to see the excessive of excessive as well.
Yes.
But now we'll go to the next question. Were you considered hustle culture when you were younger? I think we already talked about this, but like, I don't think we talked about when you were in your teen, like, I don't know, early 20s. Like, did you have a job when you were in high school or college where you just worked a lot?
I was a figure skater. I became a figure skating coach. So for me, that was not really it was a job. It paid very well, but it was like what I was doing what I loved. So I was already on the ice, or I was always on the ice. So it was just like, well, we're going to continue being on the ice. However, like I was saying, like my dad worked so hard to give us things that he couldn't get when he was younger. And there was this clothing store that I really, really love at the mall. And I got a job there, and I only worked there like 2 days a week, like literally, I think maybe a half day on Saturday, but every Sunday, whatever. And he was very upset with me. He's like, oh my gosh, if you need money to get, to go buy clothes, just ask me. And I said, well, it's because like, I like this white shirt, but I also like this white shirt, and I also like this white shirt. And why would I ask you money to buy 3 white shirts? Because you'll be like, why do you need 3? But I want to. So literally I was working there
to get the clothes,
and to get the discount on the clothes, because really I wanted to work as a figure skater and stuff. But right before I moved to the United States, which was to go to school, again, my parents were very, I was very lucky to have my parents paying for my college, but I did work in a sports bar.
Oh yeah.
Like the pro hockey players were going, and then things like that, because we knew the owner was our old neighbor. But that
she's not allowed to talk about that.
No, but that
she signed an NDA. Can you say that?
I don't know if I can say that or not, but they were not there every night. I mean, it was also a sports bar.
We won't say what people.
No,
but I think you're allowed to say that. You signed it.
No, I signed it, so I'm not going to say anything. Yeah. But there's some funny stories. But anyway, it was also like a sports bar during regular hours, But that you make a lot of money, in that that environment, and it's really easy to just be like, oh shit, and I'm not going to school anymore.
There,
So my parents kind of kept me like on track for this, but I didn't mind the work. I didn't mind doing this because I was going to school. I had good grades. I was doing my sport, or I was coaching at that time. And then you do this on the side. So it was chill.
It makes you feel productive.
Yeah, it was chill because during the day I was not, especially during the summer. There. Yeah. And so they're your friend. My best friend was working with me. So it was great. But then I went to school, and with a different language and whatnot, I couldn't do both. So I went just to school. So
I would say that, like, this isn't a job, but when I was a swimmer, that was like hustle culture. 5:30 a.m. practice. Oh yeah, my gosh, yes, the sport an hour and a half, and then 2 hours right after school. Sometimes 3 practices when I was middle school. So no job is as bad as hustling for freaking
and you
swimming.
Were babysitting too.
Yeah,
at that time
and doing swim lessons. So I was at swim practice in the morning, and then swim practice after school, and then right after that, staying in the water and doing swim lessons. So that freaking killed me.
But that was also, like I said, like it's like figure skating. It was easy though, right? It's like you're right there. It's your life. That's what you do. And
my hair was dead by the end of it. My fingers were freaking wrinkled from the water. But yeah, super.
And then you got home, and you guys were really good at doing your homework during the day, during the whatever.
Yeah. We got like a little study hall because we had no other time. I wasn't gonna do it at 9:00 at night.
No.
So moving on now. This is a little would you rather. Usually we do the would you rather at the end of our episode. Every episode we do one of those. But I have a perfect one for right now. Would you rather work 80 hours a week and retire by 40, or work 20 hours a week forever?
Okay.
This is easy for me.
Yeah, go ahead.
20 hours a week forever.
I would say that 80 hours is like, it's a lot. Oh, and retire by 40.
80 hours is terrible. Like
80 hours is way too much.
That's like 20 hours a week. You have enough time, a lot of time, to still live your life.
Yeah.
And enjoy it. Versus, like, I could do 2 days. It doesn't specify. I could do 2 10-hour days. And the rest of the time I can chill and live my life. 80 hours a week. How many hours are in a week?
Well, I don't know, but usually a full-time is 40 hours. So 80 hours is like pushing it. 40 hours
is 2 full-time jobs.
It's 2 full-time jobs.
That's hell. What's like the limit that you do for, like, what would make you choose the other one? 60 hours a week? Retire by 40? That's still terrible.
That's still terrible. I think I wouldn't even do, this is, I don't know. It would depend. But like the 20-hour week forever, if you love what you do and it pays good and it sustain what you want to do and your dreams and your way of life, then go for it. But I think that while I'm younger and I can handle it, not 80 hours, but I would do maybe a little bit more earlier on, put money on the side, and then be like, okay, like even at 40 or
but you have to choose one or the other.
I can't choose.
That's so easy. It's 20 hours a week.
It would be, but I'm just saying, like,
that's not that bad at all.
I can do 20 hours. Give it to me now.
Yeah. Moving on. If money wasn't an issue, would you have a job?
I think so.
I think I would. I don't know. I literally am getting a degree for finance. Like, I want to, like,
is traveling a job?
Yeah. I think that I would do this right here and make money right here. Not even make money. If I didn't need, if money wasn't an issue, would you even have a job? I'd do that.
But we would open our own coffee shop.
Yes.
And have money. That is our dream. Yes.
Yes, I would start a business, and I would be the financial sector of the business. Me, myself, and I. But yeah.
But I'm also in the podcast, and mom.
Yes. Well, I'm not for the financial sector of the business.
Okay.
So
with finance, my mom was a CPA.
Well, I'm literally getting a degree, so I'd like to put it to use. So let us know,
we want to ask you guys.
Yeah.
Are you team hustle? Are you team?
That sounds so cringe.
I know.
Are you
Are you team hustle? Or are you team stop life?
Choose.
And tell us why. I mean,
I'd like to
see your thoughts on
I'd like to see different perspectives. I know that it's not black and white. Like, people, like I said, especially in this economy and freaking how expensive eggs are now, because the bird flu, it's hard to be able to say that I'm gonna live the slow life, because you can't. Like, America's so 10 steps ahead that you gotta actually hustle to get there, which sucks. But if it were black and white, I would obviously choose I don't know if this is obvious for you guys, I would choose the European lifestyle.
Yeah, but you can still work.
Yeah, but still work. I would still,
like a full time.
Yes,
whatever full time is for them. But
I see the slow life as working a job that you genuinely love, no matter if it pays, it's not going to pay a ton, but you love it, so you continue doing it. That's what I see as the slow life is. You do something you love. You're not stressed out. You're not hustling for a promotion. You just love where you're at.
But even having said that, like you say, some European countries are slower paced than we are here. But some of them still make a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
That's just their way of living. It is what it is. That's what they do.
And it can be difficult to, I guess, maintain that lifestyle for some people in Europe, I'm sure.
Oh, just here.
And then the hustle culture, I'm sure a lot of people love that because I'm sure there's a bunch of people who are genuinely passionate about the jobs that they're doing, and they want to work their way up, and it's their dream to be the CEO. So I also appreciate that, which will dive into my next section of this episode. I am studying finance right now. I have 1 year left. Well, actually, less than 1 year left. So as somebody in finance, usually that's tied with the corporate lifestyle, the working up the ladder, promotion after promotion, big city, all that. And I've been really deciding what I want to do, and I've been thinking about it the past 3 years that I've been in college. I can either work an online finance job and find one that's not too many hours, whatever, and travel the world like I wanted to, or maybe this podcast can take off and we can do the podcast
travel the world.
and travel the world. Or I work up the corporate ladder and I work a 9 to 5 and just go after promotion after promotion.
Hey, listen, I don't mind retiring early.
Which I don't see, I don't know, I wouldn't dislike the corporate finance job. But I made a pros and cons. Pros, if I work up the corporate ladder, I'm a badass girl in finance. You see me walking in with my freaking suit, and I get to be the boss of all these frat guys. That would be amazing. But is that a reason
mom still pays for dinner?
No, I would pay for my own dinner. I'm a girl in finance.
I'm going to pay for my mom's dinner.
Oh, okay.
She didn't even say yes.
I could gain a lot of knowledge. I love learning stuff, especially in finance and investments. I find it very interesting. I could make a lot of friends, make a lot of connections, go to some cool events. That'd be awesome. And I still could travel, maybe not as much. The cons, hella work hours. There's a lot of greedy people in the finance industry. There's a lot of people that don't do it an ethical way. There's not a lot of there's a lot of immorality, like a lot of, I don't know if this is stereotypical, but there's some bad people in the finance industry, and their morals don't match up with mine, their values don't match up with mine. Money hungry, and it doesn't seem like like the priority is more money because your job is based around money. That I think the greedy can kind of get to you, or the greed can get to you a lot easier. But then also, if I did it, I could try to make it like a more positive environment and create a better view on the finance industry. So
I mean, if you can make some changes, that'd be great. But just my financial advisor, which was one of my patient, became friends with his wife, his mother-in-law, him, the kids. You babysat for them as well. He moved up, right, and then changed and whatever. And every time you talk to him, he loves what he does. You can tell he absolutely loves what he does. He knows right now, like he's not making millions with me. Let me tell you, like I'm not his main income. I can tell you for sure. However, he is still like, this is our plan and this is what we're going to do. But if this happened, we start from scratch. We're going to switch this, but when we stick to this, it's what you're going to do. And so far, everything that, it's hard. Like, my situation, like now we have to move. I mean, we're trying to sell this condo, but he's always like, he always reassures me, like, life has all this uncertainty, but he's not just like, I want your money and we're going to do this, whatever. This is what we're going to do.
He's like a financial therapist. He's a therapist at this point.
Right. But he's got all this, and then he says, but so when this happens, and then all of a sudden he just talks about where it's, what's going to happen. He's just like, oh my gosh, yes.
He's very knowledgeable.
Extremely knowledgeable.
Very knowledgeable, and great mentor for me. But that's another side of it where I could go into, not like online, just doing a job to just make some money, and but so I can travel the world to sustain that life. But I could do,
and we've told her she has to learn how to golf, because this is where you make a lot of financial. Well, that's if I do
corporate or financial advising. But
we just gotta look pretty on the golf course and then hit the ball once or twice.
Yeah, see, that's the fun events where you make connections. I'm not much of a golfer, but I'll sit in the golf cart and have a cocktail or something. But
with a pretty outfit.
That's the other side of finance, where I could do like one-on-one financial advising, or like help people, and that's where you can actually see the good happening. I feel like it's hard to see the good that you're doing with the corporate finance, unless you're working for a company that you're really, really passionate about and you align with their purpose, which is something that I would prioritize. But with financial advising one-on-one, you can really like see the change happen in their life, and it's just right in front of you. Like, it's very visual, I guess you could say. So that's the other side of it. But
because you see I'm so sorry. It's because you see like they're succeeding. You can see, how can I say, like the joy or whatever. Like your clients are making the money that they've been working hard for and investing, and the investments going and stuff. So yes, it makes you money as well, God, but it's also like the rewards of like, I made it happen. I helped them made it happen, and
and
it's rewarding. So
see their confidence grow. But I don't know if that's something that you can do. You can do it online. There's remote jobs for financial advising, but I find like doing that in person is a lot more personal, and you just have that better connection. But I would do it online or remote if I can travel. Yeah, so if you guys need a financial advisor remotely, hit me up. Do you have any thoughts of which way you want to go within like the next year? Like, do you see yourself continuing to hustle? Do you think things will turn to more slow?
I think, right now I'm new at this practice, so it's gonna take like a couple months of hustling and trying to get in the groove and get the patients to know me and this and that. And then, moving and so I'm expecting the next, maybe until school starts, because your sister has to start.
This summer is going to be crazy.
Yes, I think that it's going to be unless this sells tomorrow, then crap.
Buy the condo.
We're all said and done.
Oh my gosh, I almost said our address.
Please don't. So I think there's a little hustling, which, like, listen, I'm not going to talk how I'm going to turn coming up, but I did not see myself in this position at my age. I thought I was going to be like just so successful, and this and that. I'm not saying that I'm not successful, but I had my own, business and whatnot. And I'm not saying that I was going to retire at 50, but, like slow it down. Like I always said, I wanted to work part-time at Athleta clothing store, because I love that store for their clothes, and maybe they have like discounts for employees. But like after a divorce and stuff, you kind of start a little bit over. So I'm kind of like starting over, if you want to, but on my own. But the sense of accomplishment that I'm going to go buy my own home by myself. It's, even if at my age, it's just like I can't even believe it. I feel like I'm a little bit of like cloud nine. Like is this a dream or not? Is it happening? It's very freaking scary at the same time. But so I think the hustle is going to be there for the next year, and then I hope that it's going to slow down.
But you'll get to be rewarded from that hustle, Yeah.
Yes, I am. And your sister, like I said, like for a plan, if you want to, like she is going to graduate high school in 7 years. So from today, so it's just right? Yeah, 7 years from when she starts school in the fall. But so I'm going to give myself 7 years to really, she's in sports. We're going to be traveling. You're going to be maybe
being a mom is hustle too.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be making money to be a hustle life.
No, like your mom is
sports can be a hustle life. Being a mom,
you guys are gonna, like I don't know where you're gonna be ending. Maybe you will all be living close, or maybe we'll all be living in different states. So traveling and see you guys, because I eventually, when she gets to college, okay, well I want to be able to go and see you guys and have time. Like maybe I'll be a grandma by then. I can't even say this.
No, I don't want kids.
Okay, maybe I'll be a dog grandma.
Yeah.
But that I can go dog sit, whatever, and enjoy my family, and just I don't know if it's going to be in 7 years, but maybe I could slow down by then. Who knows what the future holds? But I just need to prepare myself that like the next year or the next 6 months will be, and because I kind of didn't have a soft life in the past 6 months.
Yeah.
Lots of, kids, again, lots of like, going back and forth, traveling, doing this, that, but I did not have a full-time job. So I was more relaxed because we were waiting for this to sell.
Right. So there's like,
and it was great, but how many times did you hear me? It's like, I feel like I've done nothing today.
Yeah. So like there's pros and cons to both, but I think that you can have both. Like, I think that most people, I hope, have like a good balance. But not that there's, it's not a bad thing if you want that hustle life, like I said. But
no,
for me, I want to have the balance, because I want to be working a job, but I don't want to be overworking myself and losing sight of my priorities.
But this can all change. Is that like last episode that we talked about what we thought we were going to be in the future when we were in
my thoughts can completely change. I could literally in 5 years I could be working up the corporate ladder, and I'm gonna look back at this episode and be like, wow, like my priorities really changed. I really like this.
Or we're going to be at an island doing this.
Yes,
and enjoying life.
Yeah. Well, like either way you could enjoy life. It's just different. Like it's crazy to see how like so many people have different like values or priorities, or not priorities, and what they enjoy. So like I don't know what's gonna happen or what I'm gonna want to do.
My mom always said, like, after now she kind of cracks me up when she's like, remember when you were younger, you said like, I'm going to be a working mom and I'm going to be a successful, whatever. And I thought I was going to be an attorney, but anyways, and then I switched to, I wanted to be a surgeon, but anyway, so that was going to be a success in what I was going to be working on, and I'm going to have kids, but I'm still going to be a working mom because, because in my mind, that's what my dad did. And that's what I was going to do. And then started that way, and then I decided to stay home. Well, I mean, I was working from home for your dad and I's company, but then I was home for my kids, and I remember calling my dad and say, "Is it okay if I stay home? Is it okay if I sell my practice? Because they paid for me to go to school." And he's like, "That is the best gift you can give your kids. If you can't afford it, do it, and then go back to work, later." And that's what I did. So,
but I wanted to touch on where I think I see myself in a year, and I will make a podcast.
So we're going to reflect on this in a year. Okay.
But my boyfriend and I have a plan that in like February of next year, and a year from now, we want to be traveling. Because I believe that in your 20s, you should really, you're not going to have many times, I think, after people have kids and stuff. I don't want to have kids right now. I want kids. But that may change. I don't want to have kids.
Oh my gosh, you just said that.
No, I don't want kids. No.
What? She just said that may change.
I believe that you should really.
What's today's day?
No, I think you should really take hold of your 20s and travel and take that time to travel if you're able to. Right now I'm broke, so I don't know. Hopefully I'll be able to. But
you cheap.
Yeah. But next year I see myself traveling. Whether that's 6 months, 9 months, a year. Hopefully I don't stay there forever. But we want to be in Europe. Check out the UK, then Italy, of course. Maybe Croatia. We want to go to Romania, Transylvania. We want to go visit Transylvania. But I thought that was a spider. But to do that, I would need to have a remote finance job that is sustainable to be able to do that. But also, I want to live by little means when I'm there. Like, I don't need a luxurious hotel to stay in.
You won't have any choice because you don't have like a 9-to-5 job per se, and then you want to travel and visit. So.
Right, but it's just not important to me, like the materialistic aspect. I just want to have a bed to sleep in at night. Maybe not in like a terrible part of the city, but a bed to sleep in, and then go out and see everything when I'm able to, and I'm not working on my computer. So that's where I see myself in a year. Maybe I'll be filming from Italy in a year. We'll see.
And I will be there.
She'll be visiting.
Because, if we go to Italy, if you go to Italy, I'm so there.
Visiting, yeah.
I really want to move there.
Well, our Airbnb is probably not going to be super big, so you can sleep on the couch.
Okay, I will be at a hotel.
Yeah. But that is all we have for today. I hope you guys liked this episode. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think
it was really spur of the moment, kind of like a subject. And
I'm really passionate about this topic. It has it's not black and white. There's so many in between that we can talk about.
And we can revisit it, like in 6 months, in a year, like where we're at. And so, yeah.
Yeah, so let us know your guys' thoughts. Make sure to follow us on TikTok at @coffee_break, Instagram at @coffee.break, YouTube at Coffee Break with Cat and Mom. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment.
We have new pictures.
Let us know if you guys want us. Yeah, let us. Oh yeah, for season 2 we did a new montage. You'll see at the start of this video. New pictures, all that. It was a lot of fun.
Shout out to
Crux Coffee. It was amazing. It's very cool. Love the vibe. And then let us know if you guys would like us to talk about anything specific. Anybody on the podcast for an interview that we can reach out to. If you guys like the hustle culture or the slow life. And
we should do like a
video.
Vote.
Yeah, we should do a vote. Video podcast on Spotify and YouTube. We have audio podcasts on pretty much every other platform. So be sure to tune in for next week's episode. And we'll see you guys.
Love you. Bye.